Hello everyone, I'm Yumu from Susan's family. Today, I'm bringing you a design from the Silk Road series, the Ilkhan Patchwork Blanket. The electronic tutorial pattern can be found on our website, en001.com. This blanket consists of Motif 1, Motif 2, the sewing, the border and tassels. First, crochet Motif 1 and Motif 2 separately, then sew them together. Next, crochet the border. Finally, make and attach the tassels. Start by learning Motif 1. It is divided into the top fabric piece and the base piece. First, crochet the top fabric piece. Use the magic ring. Crochet in rounds counterclockwise. Several crochet stitches will be used. The instructions are all marked on the chart. I won't explain them one by one here. Please watch my demonstration of the crochet method. Take out the corresponding yarn. Note that in the actual project 2 strands are combined. Treat them as one strand when crocheting. You can take yarn from both the center and the outer ring of the ball. To make it easier to watch, we use the sample to demonstrate. I'll demonstrate using one strand of cotton yarn. The color is random. For specific yarn, color schemes, and hook sizes, refer to the detail page of our product and the paper instructions. Start with a finger wrap for the magic ring. As you can see, this is what the magic ring looks like. Move on to the first round. Begin with 3 chain stitches as the beginning chain. These 3 chains count as 1 double crochet. Then, work 7 double crochets into the magic ring. After completing, check the stitch count. Next, close the magic ring. Try to tighten it as much as possible. Finally, work 1 slip stitch into the hole on the left side of the turning chain. Gently tighten. This completes the first round. We will consider the side with the clearer texture as the right side. Continue with the second round. Start with 3 chain stitches as the beginning chain, corresponding to the starting chain below. Continue with 3 chain stitches as a transition. Work 1 front post double crochet into the left side double crochet. Yarn over once. Insert the hook from front to back around the entire double crochet. Draw the yarn through. Note to slightly enlarge the loop. Yarn over and draw through the first 2 loops. Repeat this twice. The front post double crochet is completed. The braid on the upper right is its stitch. Continue with 3 chain stitches. Correspondingly, make the front post double crochet into the double crochet. Yarn over once. Insert the hook from front to back around the entire double crochet. Draw the yarn through. Slightly enlarge the loop. Yarn over and draw through the first 2 loops. Repeat this twice. The front post double crochet is completed. This round involves making front post double crochets into the double crochets. Make 3 chain stitches as a transition in the middle. Complete this round using this method. Finally, finish with a slip stitch in the chain space on the left side of the beginning chain. This completes round 2. For the next round, the method is similar to round 2. Make front post double crochets into the front post double crochets below. Make the corresponding number of chain stitches as a transition in the middle. Note that all chains should not be too tight. Ensure the fabric is flat and not wrinkled. Refer to the pattern to complete it. I have already crocheted it. Note that for the ending slip stitch, pick up the topmost chain stitch of the beginning chain. That is, the 3rd chain stitch from the bottom up. Crochet with these 2 lines. Tighten. The 3rd round is complete. Now, crochet the 4th round. Refer to the pattern. First, crochet a special DC4 popcorn stitch. Start with 3 chain stitches as the beginning chain. This counts as 1 double crochet. Below, insert and crochet 3 more double crochet. After completing, enlarge the loop. Remove the hook. Insert into the topmost chain stitch of the beginning chain. Draw the loop through. Note to also push the fabric forward. Crochet 1 chain stitch to secure. This special DC4 popcorn stitch is now complete. Continue with 7 chain stitches as a transition. On the left side, crochet 1 slip stitch into the FPDC stitch. Do not tighten. Continue with 7 chain stitches. On the next FPDC stitch, crochet a DC4 popcorn stitch. First, crochet 4 double crochet. Remove the hook. Insert into the first double crochet stitch. Draw the loop through. Pay attention to lifting the fabric. Chain 1 to secure. The DC4 popcorn stitch is now complete. Continue following the chart to complete this round. The 4th round is completed. Next, crochet the 5th round. Start with a slip stitch in the left chain space for the transition. Do not tighten the transition slip stitches. Then, chain 4 to start. This counts as 1 treble crochet. Chain 2 for the transition. Then, work 1 treble crochet in the chain space below on the right side. Yarn over twice. Insert into the space. Draw the yarn through. Here, make sure to wrap the foundation chain in as well. Slightly enlarge the loop. Yarn over and draw through the first 2 loops. Repeat 3 times. Treble crochet completed. The braid on the upper right is its stitch. Continue chaining 7 for the transition. Then, in the same position, where you worked the slip stitch on the left side, work 1 tr5 popcorn. First, crochet 5 treble crochets. Yarn over twice. Insert. Draw the yarn through. Yarn over and draw through the first 2 loops. Repeat 3 times. Treble crochet completed. Work 4 more treble crochets in the same position. Remove the hook. Insert into the first treble crochet stitch. Draw the loop through. Lift the fabric. Chain 1 to secure. tr5 popcorn completed. Chain 7 for the transition. In the chain space on the left side of the DC4 popcorn on the left, work 1 treble crochet. Two chain stitches. Work 1 treble crochet in the chain space on the right side. Wrap over the stitches above. This is called the crossing pattern. I will demonstrate this again. First, chain for the transition. Then work 1 tr5 popcorn. Transition chain. Work another crossing pattern. Continue following the chart to complete this round. Finally, join with a slip stitch in the beginning chain. Pick up the 4th chain stitch to work. The 5th round is completed. Continue to crochet the 6th round. First, in the chain space on the left side, work 1 slip stitch for the transition. Then work 2 chain stitches. Work 1 double crochet in the same position. Continue to crochet 2 chain stitches. Work 1 front post double crochet around the treble crochet on the left side. Then work 7 chain stitches for the transition. In the chain spaces on either side of the popcorn stitch on the left side, work 1 crossing pattern. Work another 7 chain stitches. Work 1 front post double crochet on the treble crochet. Work 2 chain stitches. In the middle chain space, work 1 DC2 booble. First, work 2 incomplete double crochets. Yarn over once. Insert the hook. Draw the yarn through. Yarn over and draw through the first 2 loops. The first stitch is completed. Yarn over once. Insert the hook. Draw the yarn through. Yarn over and draw through the first 2 loops. The second stitch is completed. Yarn over and draw through all the loops once. The DC2 bobble is completed. We will refer to it as the bobble stitch from now on. Continue with 2 chain stitches. 1 front post double crochet. Follow the chart to complete this round. Join with a slip stitch in the first double crochet stitch. This completes the 6th round. Now work the 7th round. Start with 3 chain stitches as the beginning chain. 2 chain stitches as a transition. Work 1 bobble stitch in the spot where you insert the hook below. Two chain stitches. Work 1 front post double crochet corresponding to the front post double crochet. Then work 7 chain stitches. On the crossing motif on the left side. Follow the stitch technique at this position on the 6th round. Continue referring to the chart. Note that all stitches on the bobble stitch are worked in the same stitch. Continue to crochet and finish this round. End by working the bobble stitch into the starting slip stitch position. 2 chain stitches. Join with a slip stitch. The 7th round is completed. For the following 8th and 9th rounds, refer to the chart and crochet. Note to work the front post double crochet on the bobble stitch. Pick up and crochet the entire bobble stitch directly. Complete it. Now I will demonstrate the 10th round. First, work 1 slip stitch in the chain space on the left side as a transition. Then work 1 special DC for popcorn. One chain. Work another DC for popcorn in the same position. Two chains. On the left side, work 3 front post double crochets. Work 1 FPTR3 tog. First, make 3 incomplete front post treble crochets. Yarn over twice. Pick up the front post double crochet. Draw the yarn through. Then yarn over and draw through the first 2 loops. Repeat twice. The first stitch is completed. Continue and work 2 more stitches. Finally, yarn over and draw through in once. The FPTR3 tog is completed. Continue to crochet chains. Refer to the chart for the exact number of stitches. On the 5 FPDC below, crochet 1 FPTR5 tog. First, work 5 incomplete FPTR stitches. Finally, yarn over and draw through in once. The FPTR5 tog is completed. Continue following the chart. Work this round all the way down. Note that the popcorn stitch is worked in the same space. Join with a slip stitch. Cut the yarn. Crochet 1 chain stitch to secure. Leave a 5 cm tail and cut the yarn. Weave the tail through the wrong side of the fabric. You can weave a few more stitches. Trim the excess tail. This completes round 10. The top fabric piece is also completed. Move on to crochet the base piece. Crochet in rounds around the top fabric piece. Note that here, the starting color for the base piece is different. The colors for the motifs will also be different. When crocheting, you can choose your preferred starting color. Note that the yarn here is not easy to undo. You can watch my demonstration first. Learn the method before you crochet. The new stitches used are half double crochets and SC2-in-1. Please watch my demonstration of the specific crochet method. The first round of the base piece is the same as the first round of the top fabric piece. Here, the base piece starts from the second round. Refer to the chart. You can see that the base piece has two colors. They indicate where to crochet correspondingly on the base piece, and where to pick up both the top and base fabric pieces together. Here, the second round is crocheted correspondingly on the first round. Place the top fabric piece with the right side facing up. Find the position of the first round starting chain. This is where the slip stitch marks are. Insert the hook into the topmost chain of the starting chain from the back. Join the yarn. The sample starts with random colors here. Then, refer to the chart to pick up the stitches for the first round. Crochet the corresponding stitch. While crocheting, you can wrap the yarn tails behind together. Mind the stitch positions and don't get them wrong. After completing, check the stitch. A total of 8 chain spaces should be made. Finally, finish with a slip stitch in the starting chain. The second round is complete. From the right side, you can see the base piece is underneath the texture of the fabric piece. Continue crocheting the third round. Excess tails can be trimmed here. The chart shows the stitch pattern in colors, where you crochet the base piece and the top fabric piece together. Insert into the second round chain space on the right side of the top fabric piece. Remember to insert from front to back. Pay attention not to insert in the wrong position. And the second round chain space on the left side of the base piece. Work one slip stitch as a transition. Then make 3 beginning chains. Crochet 2 chains directly. For the left side double crochet, pick up both layers together. Insert into the chain space on the left side of the top fabric piece. And work 1 double crochet in the same hole of the base piece. Starting from this round, on the top fabric piece, just pick up the corresponding chain spaces to crochet. Do not crochet in the stitch positions. There are more chain spaces here. Be mindful not to pick the wrong position. Then, correspondingly make 2 double crochets on the next 2 stitches on the left side. Remember to wrap the chain stitches of the top fabric piece. Hook 1 double crochet in the left chain space. Continue wrapping the chain stitches. 2 chains. On the other side, symmetrically make 1 double crochet. Pay attention to picking this chain space. Work 2 double crochets into both fabric pieces together. You can see that the FPDC on third round of the top fabric piece corresponds to the 2 chain spaces of the bottom fabric piece. Work 4 double crochets in between. Work 2 stitches by picking up the stitches. Work 2 stitches by picking up in the spaces at the edges. Wrap all the chain stitches. Repeat this process. Refer to the chart to complete this round. The last double crochet is worked above the beginning chain. Finish with a slip stitch in the turning chain. The third round is complete. Continue to crochet the fourth round. Start with the chain space on the left side of the base piece. And the corresponding chain space on the right side of the top fabric piece. Work 1 slip stitch as a transition. Then make 3 beginning chains. Two chains as a transition. In the same space of the base piece, and the chain space on the left side of the top fabric piece in the third round, work 1 double crochet. Pick up the left double crochet stitches, and the chain stitch loop together, and make 4 double crochets. In the next space, continue to pick up 2 braids and work 1 double crochet. Note that not crochet into the adjacent chain stitch loop above. 2 chains. Crochet symmetrically on the left side. Follow the chart and complete this round in the same way. Finally, finish with a slip stitch in the beginning chain. The 4th round is completed. Now crochet the 5th round. The method is similar to the 4th round. Pay attention to the DC5 popcorn stitch on the top fabric piece. Normally weave in the chain stitch loops on both sides below. Refer to the chart and complete this round. Now I will demonstrate the 6th round. First, in the left chain space of the base piece, work 1 slip stitch as a transition. Note that do not need to bring the top fabric piece. Make 3 beginning chains, 2 chains as a transition. Work 1 double crochet in the same position. We consider the stitches worked in the chain space as one corner of this round. Then, at the edging position, which is the stitch positions from the previous round on the base piece, work a double crochet in each corresponding stitch. As you crochet, wrap the 5th round chain stitches from the top fabric piece together into the stitches. When you reach the chain space, work 1 corner in the base piece chain space. Continue by repeating the edge and corner technique. Complete this round. Don't forget the last stitch in the beginning chain. Finish with a slip stitch. This completes the 6th round. Now, work the 7th round. Start with a slip stitch in the chain space on the left side of the base piece. Make 3 beginning chains. Chain 2 as a transition. Work 2 double crochets in the same chain space. Work 1 double crochet in the next stitch on the left. Don't need to include the top fabric piece. Refer to the chart. Merge 2 fabric pieces and crochet them together. Make 2 double crochets. One half double crochet. And 1 SC2 tog. First, hook an incomplete single crochet. Insert the hook. Pull the yarn through. The first stitch is completed. Continue with the second stitch. Insert into the stitch on the left. Pull the yarn through. Finally, yarn over and draw through all loops once. SC2 tog is completed. The braid on the upper right is its stitch. Continue with 1 half double crochet. 2 double crochets. On the base piece, work 1 double crochet in the stitch on the left. We will treat the stitches crocheted in this stitch position as one edge of this round. Work 1 corner next. Crochet 2 double crochets in the chain space. Two chain stitches and 2 double crochets. Continue with another edge. Don't forget to join as you crochet. I'll demonstrate the SC2 tog again. First, work 2 incomplete single crochets correspondingly. Finally, yarn over and draw through all loops once. SC2 tog is completed. Repeat this process to complete the round. Finally, crochet 1 double crochet in the chain space. Complete this corner. Join with a slip stitch to finish. This completes the 7th round. For the following rounds 8 to 10, follow the method of the 7th round. Refer to the chart and continue crocheting. When crocheting the SC2 tog, leave the corresponding decrease stitch below unworked. Pay attention to the position for the 10th round. The number of stitches for merging the 2 patterns on both sides of the top fabric piece is different. Refer to the chart when crocheting. Now I will demonstrate round 11. Start by crocheting in the hole. After completing, pick up the 2 stitches on the left. Between the popcorn stitch of the top fabric piece, the left chain space, crochet 2 double crochets correspondingly. Continue by picking up the 2 chain stitches on the left, crochet 2 double crochets correspondingly. Continue by picking up the chain stitches and crocheting the corresponding stitches. When you reach the corner position, insert into the chain space of the base piece and the position where FPT are 5 tog on the outer fabric piece. Crochet 2 double crochets. Two chain stitches in the same hole. Insert into the hole on the left side of the cluster. Crochet 2 double crochets again. Continue by picking up the stitches and crocheting into the chain stitches. After the SC2 tog is completed, continue by working 1/2 double crochet and 3 double crochets together. In the next 2 chain spaces on the left side, crochet 2 double crochets correspondingly. In the next chain space, crochet 2 double crochets correspondingly. At the corner position, crochet the corner in the chain space of the base piece. Work the other side symmetrically. You can see that this round completely incorporates the outer fabric piece. Repeat this process, following the chart to complete this round. End with a slip stitch. Cut the yarn. This completes round 11. Finally, crochet round 12. Take the yarn used for the outer fabric piece. Attach the yarn in the chain space on the left side, where the yarn was cut in the previous round. Then, refer to the chart, and pick up the corresponding stitches to crochet the corresponding stitch pattern. Tidy up the yarn tails together. End with a slip stitch. Cut the yarn. Secure the yarn tails on the wrong side. Finish it. Look. This is what the base piece looks like when completed. Motif 1 is now explained. Next, let's learn Motif 2. Use the magic ring. Crochet in rounds counterclockwise. For the final round, switch colors. The new stitch technique used is the DC2 tog and the DC3 tog. Please watch me demonstrate the specific crochet method. Start with a magic ring. Here, the sample is already started. Then crochet the first round. Start with 3 chain stitches as the beginning chains. In the chain space, crochet 1 double crochet. Then, following the chart, crochet the corresponding number of chain stitches. Return and start from the second CH from the hook. Pick up the top thread and crochet a slip stitch. Do not tighten. After completing, continue in the starting chain space. Crochet 1 double crochet. Note that the right side should be facing up. Don't crochet in the wrong position. We will crochet the chains, the slip stitch, and these 3 double crochets as a group. Continue with 3 more groups. After completing, close the loop. Finish with a slip stitch. The first round is complete. Move on to the second round. Start with 3 chain stitches as the beginning chain. Then find the second chain stitch on the left side. Insert into the position where you made the slip stitch. Crochet 1 double crochet. Continue by crocheting 2 double crochets correspondingly. One chain stitch. Skip 1 insertion position below. Continue by crocheting 3 double crochets correspondingly. 1 chain stitch. Continue in this way. Note that to skip 1 stitch below the chain stitch. At the end, there are 2 insertion positions left. After completing the chain stitch, crochet 3 double crochets in the last insertion position. Two chain stitches. Rotate it. Insert into the previous insertion position on the other side. Crochet symmetrical stitches. Leave the last insertion position unworked. Below, in the middle stitch of the 3 double crochets on the left side, crochet 1 double crochet. Continue following the chart to complete this round. Finish with a slip stitch in the beginning chain. The second round is complete. For the subsequent rounds 3 to 4, continue crocheting in rounds following the chart. Note that at the end of the third round, slip stitch into the chain stitch above the popcorn stitch. The middle double crochet of the fourth round also goes into the chain stitch above the popcorn stitch. After completing 4 rounds, cut the yarn. I will demonstrate the final round. At the dent, attach yarn to the right edge, double crochet. Crochet 2 chain stitches. Work 1 DC2 tog in the foundation chain and the left side double crochet. First, work an incomplete double crochet in each. Then yarn over and draw through all the loops. The DC2 tog is completed. Continue crocheting following the chart. Pay attention to this chain space position. Skip 1 stitch before it. Also skip 1 stitch on the left side. Be mindful not to crochet incorrectly. At the next dent, work 1 DC3 tog on the 3 double crochets next to the popcorn stitch. First, work 3 incomplete double crochets correspondingly. Then yarn over and draw through all loops. The DC3 tog is completed. Continue to crochet and complete this round. Finish with a slip stitch in the stitch of the DC2 tog. Cut the yarn. Secure all yarn tails on the wrong side. Complete it. This concludes the crocheting of motif 2. After the motifs are completed, we will sew them together next. First, refer to the finished product. Place and sew the motifs together according to their positions. Here, the motifs are placed in an alternating pattern between motif 1 and motif 2. The 4 corners are for motif 1. 1. 3. Motif 1 of run 5. The larger pattern corners of the top layer motif correspond with the dents of motif 3. For the second and fourth rows of motif 1, the smaller pattern corners correspond with the dents of motif 2. You can also adjust this based on your preference. Use the outer edge yarn of the motifs to sew. You can start sewing from the central motif, or from a motif at the edge and sew around in circles. You can also sew the horizontal or vertical motifs first. Please watch my demonstration of the specific sewing method. Here, I will demonstrate using a sample. I will only demonstrate the connection method. Here, I will sew the horizontal sections first. First, pick up the sewing thread. To make it easier to watch, I will use a different color for the demonstration. Take a length of thread, which is 2-3 times longer. It can be slightly longer, but try not to exceed 1 meter. Position the motifs correctly. Make sure the positions are correct. Use the whip stitch method. First, thread the needle. Then, match the corresponding motifs with the wrong sides together. The right sides should both face outward. Start by connecting this corresponding edge. Tie off and weave in the ends on the wrong side edge. Find a chain hole at the corner of the motif. Pick up the highest point of 2 chain stitches. Insert the needle and sew together. When you reach the stitch position, pick up the back loop of the stitch, that is, the 2 strands closest to the stitch. Sew together. Here, you can insert the needle from below the thread. The thread won't twist. When you reach the SC2 tog position, on the half loop of the decrease stitch, match and sew together with 2 chain stitches. Continue picking the back loop and matching stitches. When you reach the DC3 tog, sew using the method for the decrease position. Continue in this way, matching stitch positions, and matching chain stitch and decrease or cluster positions. Continue sewing the connecting positions. After finishing the chain stitch positions, take out another pair of motifs. Pay attention to placing the pattern of motif 1 correctly. Continue sewing together. The seam position can be slightly tightened. If the yarn tail is not long enough, you can take the yarn to the wrong side. Tie off and weave in the ends. Then continue taking the yarn and sewing. Follow this method. And continue sewing the horizontal sections. Now sew the vertical sections. Sew the connecting positions using the previous method. When you reach the connection of 4 motifs, make sure to sew a few extra stitches here. Don't leave any gaps. Then continue sewing. From here on, follow this method. And sew all the motifs together, referring to the finished product. This completes the explanation for sewing. Next, let's learn how to crochet the edging. Crochet around the edges of the sewn motifs for 1 round. Please watch my demonstration of the specific crochet method. Here, I will use a sample for the demonstration. Sample has fewer motifs. Let's focus on the method. Use the yarn from the last round of the motifs. Find the corner with motif 1. The seam on the right side, the yarn of the SC2 tog on the left. Join at the double crochet stitch on the right. Make 1 beginning chain to start. Work 1 SC2 tog in these 2 half double crochets. Leave the middle stitch unworked. Then work the corresponding stitch pattern following the chart. You can weave in the yarn tails together. If you encounter beginning chains during the process, work normally into beginning chains. Work a corner in the chain space. Continue picking up stitches and working the corresponding stitch pattern. Correspondingly make 1 SC2 tog in the half double crochet. Repeat this process. Refer to the chart to complete the position for motif 1. Before the sewing position, after completing the double crochet position, work 1 DC3 tog in the chain spaces and the middle seam. Work all the corresponding sewing positions using this method. At the position for motif 2, the method is similar to motif 1. Work into the corresponding stitch position. Crochet the corner in the chain space. When you reach the DC3 tog, skip this stitch position. Work 1 SC2 tog on each side. Everyone repeat this process. Refer to the chart to crochet this round. Finish with a slip stitch in the SC2 tog stitch. Cut the yarn. Secure the yarn tail on the wrong side. That completes the explanation for crocheting the edging. Finally, make and sew on the tassels. There are 4 tassels in total. Each is made up of 2 tassels, top and bottom. For the bottom tassel, use 2 strands wrapped together. For the top tassel, use 1 strand. Secure them in the middle of the corner position after completing. Please refer to the demonstration for the method. First, make the bottom tassel. Cut a piece of cardboard. This height should be about 9 centimeters. The height demonstrated here is less. There are no requirements for the width. Just don't make it too short. It should be convenient for wrapping the yarn. Then cut 3 pieces of about 40 centimeters. These are the same color yarn for the top tassel, and 2 pieces of about 30 centimeters for the bottom tassel, also in the same color yarn. Set these aside for later use. I will demonstrate using 1 piece of thicker yarn. Next, use the corresponding color yarn for the bottom tassel. Hold 2 strands together. Wrap them around the cardboard. Here, I will demonstrate using just 1 strand. Refer to the pattern for the specific number of rounds. After wrapping, cut the yarn. Then cut one side open. Next, use the longer yarn tail to wrap a few rounds in the middle. One strand is enough, and tie a knot to secure it. Next, take the shorter yarn tail at the top and combine it with the yarn below. Then use two shorter yarn tails combined. Wrap a few rounds about 1 centimeter from the top. Tie them in place. Tie a knot to secure it. Then trim the bottom slightly to make it flat. This way, the tassel at the bottom is complete. Next, follow the same method to make another tassel at the top. Note, the two sets of yarn tails used to tie the top tassel should be the same color as the tassel. Both are made using one piece of yarn each. Here, I have already prepared them. Next, combine the two tassels. First, thread the yarn tail of the bottom tassel onto the needle. Then, pass it through the middle of the top tassel to the top. Finally, trim the yarn of the bottom tassel slightly shorter to make it roughly level with the top tassel. This way, the entire tassel is complete. Next, secure this to the corresponding corner. The position of the sample is random. You can sew a few more stitches. Finally, tie a knot to secure it. Hide both yarn tails within the tassel. Next, everyone follow this demonstration and complete the remaining tassels. Up to this point, the entire blanket has been explained during the crocheting process. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach us via our website. Susan's Family, supporting your handwork experience, sharing the joy of life. Thank you for watching. See you in the next episode.